Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. These were the chants which resonated inside Parliament today as Prime Minister Modi walked in on the first day of the winter session of Parliament. The symbolic significance of this cannot be overlooked. He is a two-time Prime Minister who has powered his party's electoral fortunes across the Hindi heartland just yesterday and swept it just how. And the chants today were तीसरी बार मोदी सरकार, बार बार मोदी सरकार. Members of Parliament, ministers, all on their feet just ahead of the beginning of business in Parliament. This in the absence of chief ministerial faces in each of these elections. 4 months later, the BJP under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi hopes to return to power for a third time. For them, the rise in Modi's popularity is closely linked to the party's future and the party's fortune. Tonight on the Newshour, we will deep dive into the election data of the 5 states of Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Telangana and Mizoram. We will cut out the clutter and bring to you indisputable data and decode the Modi wave ahead of the 2024 elections to just analyze and see what is the stage being set for. Take a look at the BJP's saffron footprint in Madhya Pradesh. From 109 seats last elections in 2018, this time it managed to rise to 163 seats, and that's an increase of 49.5%. In its best ever performance in the state was 2003 when it managed to get 173 seats, and that was after 10 years of rule of Congress party. The BJP first came to power in Madhya Pradesh in 2003. 50% increase in seats in a state that it has ruled for 19 years. That is the phenomenon called Modi. Across Madhya Pradesh, in Chhattisgarh, BJP yesterday got its highest ever tally since the state was created. 54 seats, which is a 260% increase from the seats that it won in 2018. Let's take a look at Rajasthan now. The BJP managed to increase its tally from 73 to 115 this time. This is a rise of once again around 57.5%. You know, can you just look at those numbers? Increases of 50%. Its best ever performance was in 2013 when it got 163 seats in the euphoria of Modi coming to power at the center when he was declared the prime ministerial candidate. Look at Telangana. The BJP is literally pinching itself for not having done better in Telangana, not being able to increase as much as they wanted to. But do you know how much have they increased? They've increased their tally by 700%. And yet they're unhappy with themselves because 1 seat in 2018 over to 8 seats now is a 700% growth. And that is what the BJP is looking. And that is its best ever performance in a southern state. This is an increase that I don't know how many parties can look forward to. This improved performance of the BJP has, of course, been at the cost of the Congress. Last night and even today, the Prime Minister sent a stern message to the opposition that politics of appeasement, polarization, negativity, division along caste lines calling names to one religion has been rejected by the people of India. Listen in.
भारत माता की आवाज तेलंगाना तक पहुंचनी चाहिए। आज के जनादेश ने ये भी साबित किया है कि भ्रष्टाचार, तुष्टीकरण और परिवारवाद को लेकर देश के भीतर, देश के हर नागरिक के दिल में जीरो टॉलरेंस बन रही है। जहां भी सरकारों ने युवाओं के खिलाफ काम किया है, वो सरकारें सत्ता से बाहर हुई है। चाहे राजस्थान हो, छत्तीसगढ़ हो या तेलंगाना हो। साथियों, आज के ये नतीजे उन ताकतों को भी चेतावनी है जो प्रगति और जन कल्याण की राजनीति के खिलाफ खड़े रहते हैं। ऐसी सभी पार्टियों को आज गरीबों ने चेतावनी दी है, सुधर जाइए, सुधर जाइए, वरना जनता आपको चुन चुन करके साफ कर देगी।
मैं करबद्ध प्रार्थना करता रहा हूं कि सदन में सहयोग दीजिए। आज मैं राजनीतिक दृष्टिकोण से भी कहना चाहता हूं कि आपका भी भला इसमें है कि आप देश को सकारात्मकता का संदेश दें। आपकी छवि नफरत की और नकारात्मकता की बने, वो लोकतंत्र के लिए अच्छा नहीं है। इस सत्र में पराजय का गुस्सा निकालने की योजना बनाने के बजाय इस पराजय में से सीख करके पिछले 9 साल से चलाई गई नकारात्मकता की प्रवृत्ति को छोड़ करके इस सत्र में अगर सकारात्मकता के साथ आगे बढ़ेंगे तो देश उनके तरफ देखने का दृष्टिकोण बदलेगा।
So is the Prime Minister right when he says that? Yesterday showed that the Congress may have won a second state in the south in less than 6 months after Karnataka. But its performance in the Hindi heartland has been waning. Watch how it went from one state in 1998 to 3 states in 2003. This was the highest ever tally for the Congress party, 3 states in the north of India. And since then, it has been reduced to 2 states from 2008 to 3 states in 2018. And after yesterday's results, it is now down to only 1 state in the north, which is Himachal Pradesh. Ironically, instead of introspection, the Congress party today says that the secular south has rejected the BJP, putting the blame on the voters rather than themselves. Listen in.
We did not start this conversation. A Congress Mukt Bharat conversation was started by them. The people have given a verdict of a BJP Mukt Dakshin Bharat now.
In South, people are secular and they are now giving their verdict in favor of Congress. And that's a very good sign.
But let's do a fact check on the Congress party when it declares that the South is BJP Mukt. Let's tell you what the data shows. If you compare Congress and BJP's members of parliament in southern states, then the Congress has 27 Lok Sabha members of parliament and 7 MPs in Rajya Sabha. The BJP on the other side has as many as 29 MPs in the Lok Sabha from the south, more than the Congress party, and 6 MPs from the Rajya Sabha in the south, because the Congress has just 1 more. Clearly, the southern states have chosen more parliamentarians from the BJP rather than from the Congress, and that, in fact, is the plight of the Congress party, that today its own allies have their knives out and are slamming it for its overconfidence and arrogance. Listen in.
मध्य प्रदेश के चुनाव में बातचीत हुई और ये भी आश्वासन मिला था कि आपको 6 सीटों में विचार किया जाएगा, लेकिन उनकी राजनीतिक परिस्थितियां ये नहीं थी कि हमें साथ लिया जाए समाजवादियों को।
समाजवादी पार्टी और कांग्रेस में लेकर किस तरीके का अगली फेस ऑफ हुआ था, उसको भी अवॉइड किया जा सकता था। बड़ी पार्टी आप हैं, आप अगर बड़ी जिम्मेदारी ले रहे हैं इंडिया अलायंस में भी, तो कहीं जेनरोसिटी भी दिखानी पड़ेगी।
जिस तरह इंडिया अलायंस का इन स्टेट इलेक्शंस में हाल रहा, अगर आगे जाके भी यही हाल रहेगा तो हम शायद बच नहीं पाएंगे। नहीं तो क्या जाता अगर वो अखिलेश यादव को 5-7 सीटें दे देते, क्या तूफान होता? वैसे भी क्या जीता उन्होंने फिर।
তারা ভুল সংশোধন করে নিজেদেরকে আরো শক্তিশালী করে এবং মানুষের স্বার্থ সকলের কাছে। ভবিষ্যৎ কি এটা আমি ঠিক করবো, এটা মানুষ ঠিক করবে। এনডিএর ভবিষ্যৎ কি, বিজেপির ভবিষ্যৎ কি, তৃণমূলের ভবিষ্যৎ কি, কংগ্রেসের ভবিষ্যৎ কি, আম আদমি পার্টির ভবিষ্যৎ কি, এটা মানুষ ঠিক করবে। জনগণকে মানুষের উপর ছেড়ে দিবে। কোনো নেতা কোনো শাসক ঠিক করে না তার ভবিষ্যৎ কি হয়।
Of course, the political relevance of these parties itself may be questionable at this moment. Watch how Akhilesh and Kejriwal's parties performed in the state polls. In Madhya Pradesh, Samajwadi Party won 0 seats and got the lowest vote share of 0.4%. In all the 4 states that Aam Aadmi Party contested, it lost its deposit. In fact, look at the vote share percentage. Between Mizoram, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, it got less votes than even Nota. Imagine more people didn't opt for Arvind Kejriwal's party. In fact, they opted for none of the above rather than vote for the Aam Aadmi Party. So, ladies and gentlemen, that brings me to the legitimate question on the news hour. Is this Modi wave unstoppable for 2024? That's the question and that's the debate. Coming up on the other side.
You're watching the News Hour first. Debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Joining the debate tonight, Dr. Sundhanshu Trivedi, Member of Parliament and National Spokesperson of the BJP, Harshvardhan Tripathi, Senior Journalist, Suhail Seth, columnist, analyst, what have you, marketing guru, Dr. Ashutosh Verma, National Spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, Khaliqur Rahman, Senior Leader of the BRS. But my first question goes to Dr. Sanjay Jha, author and suspended leader of the Congress Party and my great friend, because I'm also boycotted by the Congress Party. So, Sanjay Jha, have you been able to make any sense of the numbers and the message of the elections of these 5 states? I've given you the percentage growth. 700% growth in Telangana, where the Congress is talking about how it has won, it has come to power, and the BJP has been thrown out of the South. It has become, BJP Mukt South. Well, they have more members of parliament from the South than your party has in the whole of the Lok Sabha. And they have one shot in Rajya Sabha from your tally in the South as things stand today. So do you think flexing muscles after a rout of this kind and trying to again get into negativity is exactly the message the Prime Minister is telling the Congress Party, that your divisiveness on caste politics hasn't worked, your galis to the Prime Minister haven't worked, your abusing Sanatan Dharma hasn't worked, your negative politics against the Prime Minister, accusing him of all sorts of corruption with Adani, that hasn't worked. People have rejected it. So now the only formula you have is division between North and South, and that negativity is not going to lead you anywhere. Is the Congress ready to take that message from the Prime Minister?
There is no denying. I'm going to congratulate my friend Sundhanshu Ji. The BJP has had an emphatic victory in Rajasthan, in Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh, and the BJP has to be congratulated. I have been a critique of the BJP's ideology. I will continue to fight against the BJP's politics, but I have always admired their persistence, their perseverance, and their ability to pull off elections against all odds, and full credit to them for the way they fight. There are a couple of points, though, which are very relevant. Number one, when it comes to Telangana, Navika, the BJP is now a poor third, no matter it's got 8 seats, impressive by itself, but it's a poor third in Telangana. And the Congress, against all odds, has done what the BJP has done probably in Chhattisgarh, is to win Telangana, which I think is a significant victory for Team Congress. As far as the other state that we tend to ignore is Mizoram. And Navika, it's important to mention this point, that the alliance partner of the N.D.I.A, the Mizo National Front, MNF, which has now lost the election, had the Chief Minister saying on record that he did not want Prime Minister Narendra Modi to be on the same platform with him in Mizoram, because he felt that would be not just counterproductive in terms of campaigning, because he actually was appalled because of what happened in Manipur, where even after 7 months, Mr. Prime Minister Modi has not found time to get there. These are hard realities. We cannot ignore them just because we're getting carried away with euphoria of the BJP's win. I want to put 2 things on the table. Number one, I will congratulate the BJP, but I would have, even if the BJP had lost and the Congress had won, I would not conflate the assembly election results with 2024 general elections. I do concede that the BJP looks to be in pole position. Is the BJP at an advantage for 2024? Absolutely. Does it mean that the BJP will win 2024? I don't think that can be guaranteed by anybody. And I'm willing to put my neck out and say that issue is still up in the air because unemployment is a challenge. Farmers are unhappy. Rural distress hasn't gone away. MSME sector continues to suffer. The youth are unemployed. Corruption reigns. There are more people in dynasty in the BJP than in the Congress today. And as far as appeasement is concerned, I think let us also introduce the term called as the majority appeasement. It's not just minority appeasement. There is also something called as a majority appeasement. The BJP has got a terrible track record in governance. I think the way it's destroyed our institutions in terms of ED, CK, and IT is not going to go away anywhere, even if the opposition is today on the back foot. There is a challenge for the people of India. I speak also as a citizen of this country. And I believe, Navika, there is a lot that India can do. I think India is today underperforming under Mr. Modi.
All right. All right. Superb. Some would hear you and say, बड़ा पुराना मुहावरा है, रस्सी जल गई, बल नहीं गया. Sundhanshu Trivedi ji, your response.
I would like to first respond that he is saying that India is underperforming under Shri Narendra Modi. That's why we have become the 5th largest economy, 4th biggest stock exchange, 3rd biggest automobile manufacturer, 2nd biggest mobile manufacturer, number 1 in infrastructure investment, and highest among all the G20 and G7 countries in the world. And just last month, Fitch has given a rating, and it has enhanced India's rating from 5.5% for the coming year to 6.2%, and decreased the China's rating from 5.2 to 4.5. So I think Sanjay Jha ji should try to explain by which parameter he wants to say that India is not performing or India is underperforming, when from IMF to World Bank to even the newspapers like New York Times, which they consider gospel truth, are also praising that now India has become a leader and a new connection between the West and East after successful completion of the G20. Now, coming to these elections. Actually, if you look at it, people of the 3 states, and I can say for the entire country, has shown their strong faith in the policies, in the programs, and in the leadership of Shri Narendra Modi. Now it is becoming gradually more and more stronger, which is quite evident from Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. On Telangana, I would like to remind that we have got 16% of vote. Sir, in terms of number seat is different. And we won 8 seats. And we remain number 2 in 22 seats. It means in 30 Vidhan Sabha seats on our own, we are in a position to win in the times to come. So it means it covers around 5 to 6 Lok Sabha constituencies. And if you analyze that what happened in Karnataka, actually Congress, our vote bank remains, vote percentage remained intact, and Congress tried to snatch, and they managed to snatch percentage of vote from regional party JDS to them. And the same thing happened in Telangana. They snatched a vote, and that was a particular type of vote bank. I can say clearly the Muslim vote from BRS to Congress. So obviously ये तो बड़े माथे पे शिकन पड़ जाएंगे, बाकियों की पेशानी पे बल पड़ जाएगा कि कहीं ऐसा ना हो जो आज मेरा है कल किसी और का था कल तेरा हो जाए. So I think this will put more serious problems in India Gathbandhan, when today Mamata Banerjee has said that she has not been properly informed, so she is busy with their previous schedule, so she is not ready to come. From Mamata ji to Nitish ji to Akhilesh ji, and even for Stalin, he will be having first time a serious thinking. And in Andhra, whether YSR or whomsoever you think that you can rely upon, even in Kerala. So in my opinion, which Sanjay Jha is trying to project that it is Congress achievement, in their perspective alliance, it's going to be a very serious challenge. और मैं तो कहूँगा इस कांग्रेस की डिफीट के बाद इनके इंडिया गठबंधन के तमाम नेताओं के दिलों में तो लड्डू फूट गए होंगे. इनके लिए मुहर्रम रही होगी, उनके दिल में तो ईद लगने लगी होगी। इसलिए मैं कहना चाहता हूं, ऑब्जेक्टिवली एनालाइज द सिचुएशन, इट हैज बिकम कैटेगोरिकली डिसाइसिवली इन फेवर ऑफ बीजेपी अंडर द लीडरशिप ऑफ नरेंद्र मोदी एंड टोटली डिवाइस एंड इल्यूसिव एंड कंफ्यूजन फील्ड फॉर द इंडिया गठबंधन।
लेट मी गेट इन आशुतोष वर्मा जी। आशुतोष वर्मा जी, हारी तो कांग्रेस पूरी तरीके से जो उत्तर भारत में है। अब कोई भी सरकार बना सकता है दिल्ली में अगर उत्तर भारत की पूरी लैंड एरिया में उनके पास सिर्फ एक स्टेट हो जो 4 सीटों वाला हिमाचल प्रदेश हो। हम लोकसभा चुनाव की बात कर रहे हैं, सिर्फ हिमाचल प्रदेश में कांग्रेस पार्टी रह गई है। हाँ, कर्नाटका में जरूर आई है, तेलंगाना में जरूर आई है, लेकिन इस चुनाव के नतीजों से लेसन क्या मिला है? क्या कांग्रेस पार्टी अकेले चुनौती दे सकती है बीजेपी को, या कांग्रेस पार्टी के जो मुद्दे उठाए जा रहे हैं वो सही हैं, या क्या कांग्रेस पार्टी किसी भी अलायंस पार्टनर के साथ बिजनेस कर सकती है? क्योंकि आपके नेता ने तो खुद एक बार ट्राई करके मध्य प्रदेश में देख लिया है, और अब क्या दूध से जला छाछ भी फूक फूक पर पिएगा 2024 से पहले?
थैंक यू नविका जी। पहले तो मैं अपने साथी सुधांशु जी की बात का जवाब देना चाहूँगा। बड़ी सफाई से इन्होंने मोदी लीडरशिप बताया। मैं पहले तो उनको कंग्रेचुलेट करता हूँ कि बहुत अच्छी जीत करी, और मैं कल भी कह चुका हूँ कि डिसिप्लिन और संगठन के मामले में भारतीय जनता पार्टी का कोई जोड़ नहीं है, और सबको इसे सीखना भी चाहिए। अब आती हैं जो इन्होंने 5 ट्रिलियन इकोनॉमी और 3rd रैंकिंग पे बात की है, तो मैं आपको फिर से याद दिला दूं कि ये आधा सच है। सच ये था कि वर्ल्ड बैंक ने, गोल्डमैन सैक्स ने और वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमिक फोरम ने, IMF ने ये स्टेटमेंट जारी किया था, और मनमोहन सिंह की गवर्नमेंट में ही जारी किया था कि इंडिया 2026 तक इस विश्व की तीसरी अर्थव्यवस्था बन जाएगी इररिस्पेक्टिव ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट। तो उसमें मोदी गवर्नमेंट का कोई रोल नहीं है। उसको क्लियर कर लें, फिर से पढ़ें, फिर से जाएं और पूरा सच देश को दिखाएं कि देश की 140 करोड़ की क्षमता है जो वहां तक पहुंच रही है। तो जबरदस्ती अपने सीने पे मेडल भारतीय जनता पार्टी और मोदी के नाम पे ना पहने। अब आती है दूसरी बात। देखिए, 2 बात समझिए। भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने एक अच्छा संगठनात्मक चुनाव लड़ा है, लेकिन किसी भी तरीके से राज्यों का इस चुनाव का 2024 में कोई मतलब नहीं होता है, क्योंकि अगर मतलब होता तो 2018 में मध्य प्रदेश, छत्तीसगढ़, राजस्थान तीनों भारतीय जनता पार्टी हार गई थी, और 19 में तीनों में उन्होंने सबसे बेहतरीन प्रदर्शन किया था। और इन्हीं 5 राज्यों के हिसाब से अगर 6 राज्य हैं, जो उत्तर प्रदेश, मध्य प्रदेश, छत्तीसगढ़, गुजरात, राजस्थान और आसाम की बात कर लीजिए, जहां पे इनका अच्छा प्रभाव है, इसमें लगभग 185 लोकसभा की सीटें आती हैं, 185। और 2019 में भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने अपने सर्वश्रेष्ठ प्रदर्शन के बाद भी 160 पे लाए थे, जो काबिले तारीफ था। इस राज्यों के, इन 6 राज्यों के इतर भारतीय जनता पार्टी की स्थिति क्या है, इस पे विश्लेषण होना चाहिए, क्योंकि महत्व ये है कि इसके इतर भारतीय जनता पार्टी के पास क्या है, क्योंकि ये मैक्सिमम परफॉर्मेंस था। तीसरी बात, इंडिया गठबंधन को इससे एक बहुत बड़ी सीख मिली है कि जब, और मैं बार बार इस बात को कहता हूं कि जिस दिन पटना की मीटिंग हुई, माननीय नीतीश कुमार के नेतृत्व में सब लोग बैठे और पहली बार एक टेबल पे आ गए, उस दिन देश को पहली बार उस विकल्प की जिसकी तलाश थी वो दिखाई पड़ा। उनके अंदर कुछ अरमान जागे कि हाँ, इस मजबूत सरकार के खिलाफ कोई खड़ा हो सकता है, तो ये गठबंधन खड़ा हो सकता है, और अच्छा भी चल रहा था। तो जब आप एक बड़ी आशा किसी देश के वोटरों को देते हैं और फिर अचानक चुनाव में ये कहते हैं कि ये गठबंधन सिर्फ उसके लिए था, यहां हम एक दूसरे के खिलाफ लड़ेंगे, तो उन वोटरों को निराशा हाथ हुई और वो अपने हिसाब से उन्होंने वोटिंग करी और जिसको जहां जाना था। क्योंकि परसेप्शन की राजनीति में ये बहुत साफ बात है कि ये अगर मैसेज चला गया कि इस चुनाव में अगर ये साथ नहीं खड़े हैं तो आगे कैसे जीतेंगे, आगे देश में कैसे आगे सरकार बनाएंगे। मुझे लगता है गलती यहां पर है। अभी भी समय है, सबको साथ में आने की जरूरत है, और समाजवादी पार्टी, मैं फिर से कह रहा हूं, कोई भी ऐसा स्टेप पहले नहीं उठाएगी जिससे ये हो कि गठबंधन को हम मजबूत नहीं कर रहे हैं या तोड़ने की या कमजोर करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं।
यानी कि हर्षवर्धन त्रिपाठी जी, विलन तो कांग्रेस ही बनेगा, विलन कांग्रेस बनेगा, अखिलेश यादव जी की पार्टी, कोई अन्य पार्टी आगे नहीं आएगी, लेकिन कांग्रेस जिस तरह से चिरकुट चालू पार्टी बोल चुके हैं, आज ममता बनर्जी भी बोल चुकी है मैं नहीं आने वाली, तो आपको क्या लग रहा है आगे चल के कुछ ऐसा इतना बदल जाएगा कि ये सारे मिलकर नरेंद्र मोदी को, जो राज्यों के चुनावों में जहां वो मुख्यमंत्री बनने भी नहीं वाले थे वहां पर जनता ने इस तरह का सपोर्ट किया है, ये लोग सारे मिलके उनकी 2024 की विक्ट्री को रोक पाएंगे?
नविका जी, सबसे पहले मैं, चूंकि अब आशुतोष जी ने इकोनॉमी की बात कर दी है, तो सबसे पहले तो देश के लोगों को खुश होना चाहिए कि दुनिया में जब सारी अर्थव्यवस्था जो एस्टिमेट होता है उससे नीचे जाती हैं, तो हमारे देश की अर्थव्यवस्था FY24 Q2 में उस सब अनुमान को बीट कर देती है, उससे ऊपर चली जाती है। 7.6% पे हम ग्रो कर रहे हैं। हमारा शेयर बाजार फ्राइडे को जो क्लोजिंग थी वो रिकॉर्ड थी, और आज सेंसेक्स भी और निफ्टी भी दोनों शानदार ऊंचाई के साथ बंद हुए हैं। दुनिया यहां पैसा लगाने के लिए भागी चली आ रही है, क्योंकि जिसको ROI कहते हैं ना, रिटर्न ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट, वो बहुत जबरदस्त हो गया है, रिटर्न ऑन इन्वेस्टमेंट। तो पहली बात तो ये कि भारत की अर्थव्यवस्था को लेकर प्रोजेक्शन अपनी जगह, जो रियल टाइम सिनेरियो है वो भारत का बहुत शानदार है, दुनिया में सबसे बेहतर है, ये देश को पता होना चाहिए। अब जब हम कहते हैं कि ये रिटर्न ऑन इन्वेस्टमेंट है, तो पॉलिटिकल रिटर्न ऑन इन्वेस्टमेंट कहां है? पॉलिटिकल रिटर्न ऑन इन्वेस्टमेंट का खतरा दिख रहा है। जो शेयर होल्डिंग है मुस्लिम वोट्स की, वो कांग्रेस के पास ट्रांसफर होती दिख रही है। जो तेलंगाना के इलेक्शंस हैं, क्षेत्रीय पार्टियों के लिए खतरे की घंटी हैं, और ये सच है कि अगर कांग्रेस पार्टी और सारी राजनीतिक दल, सब क्षेत्रीय पार्टियां एक साथ मिलकर चुनाव लड़ते तो अच्छा लगता, मंच अच्छा सजता, थोड़ा माहौल बनता, लेकिन नतीजे यही आते। ऐसा मैं क्यों कह रहा हूं? ऐसा मैं इसलिए कह रहा हूं कि अमित शाह ने 2019 इलेक्शंस के बाद और यूपी 2022 इलेक्शंस के बाद कहा था कि हम 50% ऑफ वोट इन एनी कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी, उसके लिए काम कर रहे हैं। और मैं अभी जब मध्य प्रदेश के नतीजे देख रहा था, तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी को मत प्रतिशत मिला है 48.62, यानी करीब करीब 49% ऑफ वोट्स। इसका सीधा सा मतलब यह हुआ कि किसी भी तरह का गठजोड़ नरेंद्र मोदी अमित शाह के करिश्मे के आगे भारतीय राजनीति में कारगर साबित नहीं हो रहा है। और मुझे लगता है ये ज्यादा बड़ी चिंता की, खतरे की घंटी है विपक्षी गठजोड़ के लिए, क्योंकि इनकी मुश्किल ये कि जिस जातीय कार्ड पर खेल रहे थे वहां फंस गए, जिस हिंदुत्व को कहते हैं कि वो तो काम ही नहीं करता। तो मैं उज्जैन से एक रिपोर्ट पढ़ रहा था, उसमें उज्जैन की दुकान के बाहर, जो वहां महाकाल मंदिर है, वहां जो दुकानें होती हैं, दुकान के बाहर एक पुजारी मिला। उससे पूछा किसको वोट दोगे? सप्तऋषि की मूर्तियां टूट गई शिवराज चौहान के शासनकाल में। उसने कहा ब्राह्मण के घर गाय को अगर 2 दिन चारा नहीं मिलेगा तो क्या कसाई के यहां भेज देंगे? ये भारतीय मतदाता की मन स्थिति हो गई है। चिंता करनी चाहिए विपक्ष को। ये जो आंकड़े गिनाकर अपनी कमजोरी को छिपा रहे हैं, ये स्लाइडिंग है, बहुत जबरदस्त तरीके से आप ढलान पर हैं। कितना लुढ़केंगे 2024 में उसका अनुमान नहीं लगेगा, और इसी तरह से अगर नफरत फैलाते रहे तब तो सचमुच संकट बहुत बड़ा होने वाला है।
Let me get in Suhail Seth. Suhail Seth, we are getting into the deep dive. We've seen the numbers, we've seen the vote percentages, we've seen the performance, the adulation. The biggest factor that has come out in these elections is the trust factor between the voter in India, between the public in India, and one man whose name is Narendra Modi, who was called Panoti by the Congress party. Now, I want to ask you, do you think the opposition has a chance, or do you think Narendra Modi is unstoppable now?
Okay, I've said this on your channel before, I'll say it again. I'm not as erudite, as sagacious as many people on your panel, but I can tell you today, Narendra Modi will be India's Prime Minister in 2024. The BJP will get 300 plus seats. I'm not a psephologist. I'm not, as I said, as informed as many of your panelists are, but this is what it is, and I'll tell you why. Rahul Gandhi must realize and decide whether he wants to be a politician or an activist or the head of an NGO. He can't decide to behave like an NGO chief and run a political party. That's the disconnect. That's the dilemma, and that's the dichotomy. You know, my friend Sanjay Jha, poor chap's been suspended for so long. I don't know why now he can't actually take the bull by its horns. Let me tell you what the problems are. If Rahul Gandhi is removed from the scene, there is hope for the Congress. And I say this with grave responsibility. I have nothing against the person. He's done a great job when he goes on long walks. Fine. He has his heart in the right place. Fine. We are no one to doubt his patriotism. He is not fit for the job. If he was in the corporate world, they would have removed him ages ago, because it's about performance. It's not about intent. Why Modi? Modi is unstoppable because Modi is a strategist. He is not someone who is moving from tactic to tactic in order to please or to behave like an entitled human being. I warned you on your program, Navika, the day the alliance was formed, saying it is doomed to fail. When you have disparate, desperate, power-seeking people with diversionary agendas, it will never work, and it is unfair to expect it to work either. And here we have to respect all parties. Each party's leader has done excellent work, him or herself, whether it's Mamata Banerjee, whether it's Jagan Reddy, whether it is anyone. So to expect Rahul Gandhi to be the totem pole and to be the Bhishma Pitama who will lead this flock into the cudgels of heaven, it's ridiculous. So what are we worried about? I'm not worried about Narendra Modi not becoming Prime Minister, because he will be Prime Minister. What I'm worried about is the negativity that will destroy the very essence of the trust that you and I should have in a democracy. What they are doing is they are harming the democratic structure of a country. That is pernicious, that is dangerous. Number two, there is constant hatred towards India and whatever India achieves, because they believe that Modi is a representative and emblematic of India. They've forgotten what Devkant Barua said about Indra is India and India is Indra. So the point is, this visceral hatred for Narendra Modi has now transferred to a massive hatred, disbelief, and constant cynicism about our achievements as a nation. That is unforgivable, and the voters are showing them their place. You know, it is tragic, Navika, that in 2023, with civility and civilizational advancement, we are now calling it the North-South divide. We are Indians, for God's sake. If the BJP loses an election in a state which happens to be in the south of India, it doesn't mean that the south of India is divorced from the north of India. Why is this desire to continuously degrade, debase, demoralize, demotivate the people of India who are the elected?
Well said. Sanjay Jha, respond. Sanjay Jha, respond. I'm coming to you, Khaliqur Rahman ji. Sanjay Jha, please respond.
Yeah, Navika, two short points. Number one, I think Suhail normally makes a pretty reasonable and a rational argument. But for him to say that, you know, anybody in the India alliance, Congress including, has not celebrated India's success, for God's sake, Suhail, you're a product of a time when the Congress was in government. Congress has been in government for 54 years. Congress is the one that has
I must respond. I did not say no one has celebrated success. No. If you quote me, I will come back. If you quote me incorrectly, I will come back. What I said is there is no need for cynicism. There is no need for cynicism and negativity. That I hold. And I'm not putting
and
it
that's
to one
exactly the
another.
message. That's exactly the message the Prime Minister gave. Nobody's talking about yesteryears, but people are talking about the context today. And today you're full of negativity, which is so evident to the people of India that they've voted against that negativity. Isn't that the message, Sundhanshu Trivedi ji, that the Prime Minister said on day one? आपका गुस्सा अगर मुझ पर है, तो वो संसद पर मत उतारिए, negativity हटाइए, लोगों के लिए काम करिए. Doesn't the Prime Minister already anticipate that these guys will not allow Parliament to function? Sudhanshu ji?
No. Sudhanshu ji, just 15 seconds दे दीजिए आप. Navika, for God's sake, I disagree with the Prime Minister. I disagree with Mr. Suhail said. No, just 15 seconds. Criticizing a government questioning their motives, questioning them on corporate cronyism of Adani or electoral bonds or the abuse of state institutions. That is our job. I mean, it is not.
It is your job. Fine, Sanjay Jha, but please see the truth. You abuse the Prime Minister because of Adani, and in Chhattisgarh, you actually do business with Adani. And when the Prime Minister talks of the Mahadev app and the corruption of the government in Chhattisgarh, people accept what the Prime Minister says. They do not accept what the Congress says. No, that's evident. And Sundhanshu Trivedi ji is responding to you. Your 15 seconds long over. Sundhanshu ji.
Demolish Sanjay Jha's logic.
Sanjay Jha ji, sir, try to understand. You are saying that typical crony capitalism of Adani, and Adani got the biggest power project and 60,000 crore rupees and hundreds of the land allotted, acres of land allotted in Rajasthan. Biggest mine project, 16,000 crore rupees in Chhattisgarh. And the biggest port project in Kerala. And now coming, sir, let me complete my sentence. And he's the biggest investor in West Bengal. ममता बनर्जी जी के साथ बात करने के लिए. अब नाउ कमिंग टू दैट सर, लेट मी कंप्लीट. अगर ऐसा था तो हटा देना चाहिए था, कैंसिल कर देना चाहिए था. दिस इज द sheer hypocrisy that you are allowing the same person biggest investment in your states, and then you are saying that he is fraud, he is for embezzlement, and you are not cancelling. Now coming to that aspect, you are saying that in hatred against Sri Narendra Modi, you people have gone to the extent of saying army chief sadak chhap gunda. You people have gone to the extent of criticizing the statement of Director General Military Operation after surgical strike. It was given by DGMO, not by any government functionary, not by political functionary. And you gone to the extent of criticizing Indian Air Force statement after Balakot. You went to the extent of criticizing that this COVID, when in April 2021, you said that the India ने बच्चों का वैक्सीन विदेश भेज दिया. Fact of the matter, till that date, there was no बच्चों का vaccine all over the world. You went to the extent of saying COVID has moved. Sir, क्या हो गया आपको? भारत तेरे टुकड़े होंगे के साथ खड़े होके.
Blind criticism, divisive politics and negativity, Sanjay Jha. That's the way the world is, that's the way the voters are interpreting it. How are you interpreting it? Are you still doing any introspection? I don't know. But let me get in Khaliqur Rahman, and I'm sorry I'm short of time. Khaliqur Rahman, has the BRS lost the election, or is the Congress on this victory trait in the south of India that it will suddenly use the south of India to become really the power center in New Delhi?
Yeah, good evening to all my co-panelists. Good evening to the viewers of Times Now. First of all, I would like to congratulate my dear esteemed panelist, Sundhanshu Ji, on this grand victory of the BJP in the 3 states. Now coming to Telangana, we definitely lost, and we accept wholeheartedly, and we welcome the verdict of the people of Telangana. In fact, because as far as the Congress is concerned, Congress in fact ran a overhyped campaign, and then like what they did in Karnataka, they have promised the guarantees to the people of Telangana without having them properly implemented in Karnataka. And but the people of Telangana, in fact, voted for them. But one thing I actually want to, say on your channel, that as for the BJP is concerned, BJP has grown in the country because of Congress. And it is Congress which is responsible for the growth of the BJP. And you see today, the total North India is with BJP. And it is now the Congress was trying to divide the South India and the North India. And one of the persons, I don't remember the name, he said the voters in the South India are more secular than the voters in the North India, which I think I don't by that statement. The reason is India is
you hit
secular.
the nail on the
India is
head,
secular.
Khaliqur Rahman, and the Congress party, frankly, will have to go back to the drawing board to analyze why they are losing touch and the ground realities with the people of India. Every other person understands what's going on except the Congress party itself. Can then the Congress party stop the march of Narendra Modi in 2024? What is your vote, ladies and gentlemen, on that? As I thank all my panelists joining me on debate number 1.